Hey Polish fans, it's Caroline again, and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video, we are going over my first of two hauls that I got from a Color Club on their $1 mystery polish sale. This first order that I placed had 20 polishes in them, as well as a nail polish accessory kit and the 4-pack of the limited edition polishes. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at what I got. The first item that I got is a 6-piece brush and tool set. This was only $3 in their clearance. It came with a lot of different kinds of brushes. I also really liked the holographic handles that they had. You got a little dot tool, you got a fan brush, you got two variations of this sort of a cleanup brush. This one is a bit shorter than the previous one. These are just them side by side so you can see the difference. And then two of these like paint brushly styles. You have a shorter one and a longer one there as well. So the first polish is Ruby Slippers. This is one of the 4 polishes that I did already own that I got in this order. Here it is in one coat. This one does have a berry base, even though the official description is a red tinted base with red micro glitters. I found the base to be a really beautiful berry leaning red. Those red micro glitters are fantastic. This is definitely a kind of red that I do like, but since I do already own that one, it will go in my D-stash. Next up is Lava U Lots. This one was new to my collection. This one is officially described as a red-orange cream, and I would definitely agree with that description. It has a beautiful vibrancy, and it's almost a one-coater. It's got a really nice formula to it as well. Here it is in 2 coats. The second one is Sweet as Sugarcane. This one is a neon. It is another new to my collection. This one is described as a dark neon orange, and I guess compared to other neon oranges, it would be a bit darker. This one you definitely did need 2 coats to reach full opacity though. It's definitely not going to be a one coater. It's a pretty nice shade though. Again, the formula on this one was really nice. The second bright orange was Jamaican Me Crazy. This one seems to be coming up a lot in other people's hauls as well. This one is described as just a neon orange on the Color Club website. I would describe this same as one of the other hauls that I saw, and I am struggling to remember her name. I'll post it down below, but she was describing this as a bright mac and cheese orange, and I would definitely agree with that description. So there it was in 2 coats. Next up is East Austin. This is another one that was new to my collection. This one is described as a pastel neon coral, and it's a beautiful formula for being a pastel neon. I think some shorter nail lengths would be just fine with only 1 coat of this one. And I mean, it's a beautiful color, very spring and summer appropriate. It kind of reminds me of maybe like a bit of a flip-flop fantasy. Next is Little Miss Paris. This is another one that's new to my collection. This one is described as a light pink in their sheer formula, and as you can see in that first coat, it is definitely much sheerer than the other polishes. This one I think was designed to be on the sheer side, so I do believe I did only do 2 coats of this one. It is a nice color. It's just not the most exciting one. Next up is Beach Please. This is another one new to my collection and another beautiful one for summer. This one is described as just a neon pink on the Color Club website, and again I would definitely agree with that description. I mean, look at that vibrancy. It is such a fun color. So there it is in 2 coats. Next up is, I am not sure if that's Pookie. We're going to go with Pookielicious. This is another new to my collection, and it is a purple. The Color Club website describes this one as a medium cool purple, and again, I would agree with that description. This is another beautiful formula, you guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Perfect in 2 coats. This is a stunning shade of purple. Next up, I got Miami Vice. This one is also new to my collection. This one they described as a light blue with a hint of gray and green, a perfect seafoam color. And I think I would agree with that as well. This one was a bit on the sheerer side though. As you can see, even in the 2 coats, we're still getting a little bit of streakiness here. It's got a bit more of a sheer consistency than the other creams. Next up is Clickbait. Oh my goodness, you guys, I was so excited to unbox this. It is beautiful. This one they're just describing as a medium blue, kind of along the lines of a Sally Hansen Pacific blue, I would say, and another stunning formula. Some people I think would get away with this in just one coat, but I did go back for a second. And that was another one that was new to my collection. Next up is Stark Naked, another one new to my collection. Almost all of these are. I think there were 4 polishes that I did already own. This one they're describing as an off-white, and again, I would agree with that description. It's definitely a kind of a warmer toned off-white. I did need 2 coats for this to be what I would say is mostly opaque. It did have a sheerish formula, kind of a corally-like formula. Next up is You're My Soul Matte. This is another one that I did already own. I ordered a couple of them at the same time. This one they're describing as a matte metallic purple, and I feel like it's a bit more complicated than that. As you can see from the first swatch there, it's a little bit on the berry side, and then there's like a purple metallic sheen inside of that berry-like base, but it is a gorgeous polish, and there on the second coat you can see the sort of depth that it takes on around the edges, and there it is matte. Next is Take Me to VIP. This is surprisingly one that I did not own yet. They're describing this one as a light purple hollow glitter, and this one is definitely designed as a topper. It is in a sheer base, but a stunning, stunning glitter. The hollow on this was spectacular, so I believe I did only do this in 2 coats since it isn't really designed to be worn on its own. I would say if you wanted this to be opaque on its own, you'd have to probably pack it on there with a sponge. Next up is Regatta Red. This is another new one to my collection, and they're describing this one as a scarlet red, and I would definitely agree with that description as well. Here it is being swatched in 1 coat next to Orly's Summer Collection, which is those oranges to the right. And this one had a really nice formula as well. I feel like this is almost a bit on the cool tone side of a red. Comparing it to Lava Ulats, just so that you can see the comparisons and the warm and cool tones, Lava Ulats is definitely more of that orangey red. Next is Curvum. This is another new one to my collection, and the Color Club website is describing this as a cool red, which I'm not seeing red. I'm seeing this as like a berry toned polish, like a dark purple berry. Let me know what you think about that description. But again, perfect in 2 coats. The formula on this was fantastic. Next is the only one that came to me with no label. This one, I think, from some research, is maybe Peace Out Purple, and it's a gorgeous tone. If it is Peace Out Purple, they are describing this as a purplish pink, and it's one of those tones of purple that I absolutely love. Again, the formula on this was great in 2 coats. Next up is Matte About You. This is another one that I already owned. I think I ordered at the same time that I ordered the other matte one, which was You're My Soul Matte. They're describing this one as a matte metallic teal. And again, I feel like the polish is a bit more complicated than they're giving it credit for. It definitely has a green shimmer in here. The formula on this one is one I would say you have to be a bit more careful on your brush strokes because you can get streaky, but it is a gorgeous mermaidy color. And here it is matte. Next up is Nail Robbie. This is another one that I did already own. I think this might be the last one that I already owned. And this is described as a dark blue purple. You guys, this is another absolutely stunning, stunning color. I am so glad that I did already own this. It's definitely a deep indigo. Absolutely gorgeous in 2 coats. Next up is Now Is the Time. This is another one new to my collection. All of these next ones will be new to my collection. And this one is described as a textured matte silver glitter. And again, I would definitely agree with that description. It has a little bit of a textured finish once it's dried. And this one I feel like is in a pretty sheer formula here. I show it over my nail so you can see how sheer it is. Next up is Bedazzled. This one is, of course, another one new to my collection, and this is a chunky glitter topper. This one they are describing as a silver hollow glitter, which again, Yep, that's what it is. This time in a bigger size, much larger than the one that was in that purple glitter. And as you can see, it's definitely designed to use over other colors. You see a lot of that clear base, but such a fun topper. Next up is the limited edition set that I went ahead and splurged on when I made that first order because it was on sale for $40. Originally, each of these polishes was $20, so that's basically like getting two of them for free. The first one is Lucky Charm, and this one is described as a multichrome formula with intense color shifts of green, purple, gold, and even blue, packed with holographic gold shimmer and a sweet Lucky Charm fragrance for an added touch of magic. Now, on the scent, I didn't necessarily stick my nose to this. I actually forgot that it was scented, and it definitely wasn't overpowering when I was swatching it. I will say the shifts on this compared to an indie formula is not as strong, but it is really pretty. This was the first one that I saw of these special edition polishes from Color Club, and I was really excited to finally get my hands on this. I did end up coming back with a third coat though. It is pretty sheer, but again, compared to even indie polishes, I'm used to polishes like this requiring 3 coats, so that's not a deal breaker or anything. There you can see some of those green and gold shifts coming out, and of course all of that glitter. The second one is Black Magic, and this is a black to red multichrome polish. They're describing it as a multichrome oil slick with multichrome color shifts of red, orange, yellow, and black. And this one is gorgeous as well. This is, I think, one of the more sheerer polishes though. I mean, I already needed 3 coats for Lucky Charm, but as you can see here on that first and even second coat, Black Magic is definitely much sheerer. So it isn't even going to reach full opacity on my swatch here in the third coat, although when it's on your nails, I think you'd probably be okay with the third coat. Although if you didn't want to risk it being sheer, I would definitely put this one over a black undie just to make sure that you give yourself all of the opacity that you want. But there it is in 3 coats, and I'm going to try to show you some of those shifts. I do have a video later on showing all of these in different lighting. Next up is Cyber Slick. This one is described as their most intense oil slick color shifting formula. Colors shift between blue, purple, pink, copper, and green. And this is another one where the formula was much sheerer than even Lucky Charm was. Here it is in 2 coats, and you can still see how sheer it is. But the shifts on this one are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, even in the 2 coats, you could see some of those other colors starting to pop up at certain angles. There it is in 3 coats. I mean, look at those color shifts. Wow. So there it is in 3 coats. Again, on this one, if you wanted to make sure that you didn't see any nail line, I would probably put this over a dark blue or maybe a mid-tone dark turquoise. Next up is the last limited edition, All Wrapped Up. This one I didn't specifically remember seeing released at all, but it is described as a multichrome specialty formula that shifts between foresty, green, and bronze, featuring hints of purple and blue in just the right light and a subtle icy iridescence. And I would definitely say this one has another particle in it. That's those little blue twinkles that you're seeing, and I really like the effect that that has in this base. This is a pretty unique one to my collection, I think. I don't know that I have anything that's quite like it. This one was more opaque than Black Magic and Cyber Slick, so this one I did leave in just those 2 coats. The shifts I feel like on this one are a little bit more subtle, at least in my studio lighting there, but you can see some of those colors of green pop up towards my other lighting there in the right hand corner. And here it is on a little tour of the different lightings in my room. Here you can definitely see a lot of those shifts that they're going to go through. You've got a lot of different colors going on in all of them. So there we have it. That was my first haul from Color Club's Dollar Mystery Polishes. Let me know if you ordered from them. What did you get? Did you get any duplicates? I know some people have been getting duplicates in theirs, and I felt pretty lucky that I didn't end up with any in mine. I do have another video coming up that will have 60 of these in it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in that next one.